Good afternoon, and welcome to today's webinar with the OLB Group, ticker symbol OLB on the NASDAQ. Presenting for the company today will be the Chairman and CEO, Ronnie Yakov. And following the presentation, we will be opening up for a Q&A session. If you do have any questions, you don't have to wait until the Q&A session starts. You can actually just click the question button right underneath the presentation window, and you can type those in at any time. We'll get to those in the order they come in. With that, though, we will now start the presentation. Again, this is Chairman and CEO Ronnie Yakov.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ronnie Yakov. I'm the CEO of OLB Group. We are listed in NASDAQ. The ticker symbol is OLB.
My name is Patrick Smith. I'm the VP of Finance for OLB Group. I'll be working with Ronnie Yakov, the CEO of the company today, to go through our presentation deck.
We are a fintech company, and our main focus is for small retailers, online, in-store, and on mobile. Last year, we did close to 1 billion transactions in volume. We did 23 million transactions over our 8,500 merchants. You can see that in the presentation. We have a payment gateway as well that have 2,000 merchants with making transactions over 130 different industries with all the 50 states. Going to slide number 8, you can see our core business that is products and services. In the products, you can see at Omnisoft. Omnisoft is a company, subsidiary of OLB Group, that we provide the technology and the software that you can buy online, buy in store, and have it from your iPhone or iPad. These transactions, pretty much everything synchronized with the inventory management on the background. We have also the payment gateway, that the payment gateway itself is a cost saving relatively to any other competitions. We save them the transaction fees that are in the middle. We are certified by Visa and MasterCard. And we have CrowdPay. CrowdPay is another platform that we have, a crowdfunding platform for issuers and banks. Basically, we are the technology partner in all those transactions. And now I'll pass Patrick to talk about the events, that is our management and service company that we have.
Events is the core of the business. It's actually what is housed in Atlanta. That's where all the processing takes place. That's where the merchant accounts are held. We have about 8,500 merchants. Here we do all the underwriting, we do all the risk, we do all the boarding, we do everything in-house. We're a full service ISO, which gives us a good advantage over some of the people that are not. Slide 9 is the products and services. You'll see how the different parts of our company come together to create OLB, with the majority of it actually is being done with the merchant services group at Events. But everything works together between the crowd platform to the gateway to everything. Everything comes together with the software and the processing to create one unified system. Slide 10 is about the payment facilitator. Basically what it does when we're a payment facilitator, we are now the merchant of record. If we were not a payment facilitator, basically merchants are under us and they have their own MID. As a facilitator, we're the MID, we're the merchant of record, and the merchants are under us with sub-MIDs. The benefit of that is we actually control the money, and we're actually able to board people a lot faster, which from sell to swipe, you want to get them boarded as fast as you can so you can start making the money on the swipe. Also, you'll see at the bottom, it's kind of a breakdown of how we make money. Out of a $100 transaction, you'll see that basically a merchant comes in and buys a product for $100. $97 will go to the merchant. $3 is actually the processing charge. Out of that, you'll see how it's broken down, with the majority of it goes to the issuing bank. And you can see the different pieces in there, who gets what, the servicing bank, the card brands, Visa, MasterCard, and stuff like that. Then you'll see where on the PayFac how it comes over, and we get to book, since we're a PayFac, or actually we're a wholesale ISO, we get to book the whole 3%, take out our cost of goods sold to come up with our 98 cents is what we would make off a transaction. If we were just a retail ISO, we wouldn't make that type of money. On to slide 11, it's basically the market shift. Like I said, I've been in this industry almost 25 years, and the market has shifted dramatically over the last 25 years, from knuckle busters, what we called them, to normal terminals that just sit on the desk. When you walk up, you swipe them. So now everything is done through an omni-commerce channel like what we have, where you have, the processing is just a piece of it. It's a piece of the software. It actually does, the software manages everything. It manages your employees, it manages your inventory, your shipping, your website, your social media, loyalty programs. Everything is now encompassed into one central unit or one central software, which makes it easier for a merchant to actually open a store and manage a business. I'd like to hand this next slide off to Ronnie and let him explain it.
Omnisoft, that has the platform that is the OmniCommerce platform, we provide a variety of products. For example, we provide the content, the inventory management, the website, all the products, the point of sale system, the processing, and we provide also digital marketing. Providing the digital marketing practically gives us the ability of doing everything through one dashboard. You don't have to go to few dashboards to get the same results, and you have enormous cost saving. The same thing we get after you make the order, you can track even the delivery of the shippings. So all those components are combined into one system that a small merchant can definitely compete with the big merchants. In the market price, you can see a comparable table between our services and the competition. Clearly, having all those services consolidated into one place, there's enormous cost saving. Not only this, it saves also the shelf space in the counter. Instead of having 3 iPads and a point of sale system in the counter, you have only one dashboard that manages everything. Practically, you can manage it also from your iPhone when you're not in the location itself. And obviously, the price is very affordable. Slide 16. The crowdfunding platform is a platform that is built for us to be the technology partner, either for merchant banks or any broker dealers, or also the issuers. We do everything from pretty much any offering from $1 million up to $50 million. And we do all the type of forms, 506C, that's accredited investors, Reg CF, Reg A+, and S1. And we do all the process from AML, KYC. We do the escrow accounts for those issuers. We conduct the security checks, the deposits, until we finish the entire process. It's a cloud-based service. Since we're not a broker-dealer, we conduct those services as paid service. We do it for equity, donations, rewards, or peer-to-peer lending. Pretty much, we've tailor-made the software to be of the needs of the customer. We move to slide 17. Slide 17 is our integrated products and services. Taking our products and services that are listed like e-commerce, retail, restaurants, cloud billings, OmniCommerce, as a payment facilitator, also we provide all those tools, and we integrate also with all the social media companies. All those services are dynamically integrated with our merchants, that those merchants have the ability of pretty much spreading their tools and marketing across the board to all their customers. For example, we believe that out of the 8,500 merchants, we're boarding every month additional services that doubles our revenues per merchant just having those services, besides the transaction component. We estimate to have significant portion of those services integrated as part of the merchant services.
Slide 14 is the payment gateway. One good thing about our business is we actually own our own payment gateway. This is a big benefit to us because we don't have to outsource this, and it allows us to do our own processing in-house. What a gateway is a gateway connects online business to the processing, and if you do any type of online business, you have to have a gateway, and that's what we own. We own our own gateway. The good thing about it too is we have the software which you can attach the gateway to, give it to a merchant, and you have a complete business management software system with including payments. On slide 15 is about the merchant services. I discussed that earlier in the slides. It's the Evance, that's the piece in Atlanta. You can see everything that Evance does. It does the merchant boarding, it does the account management, the customer service, it does in-house risk. It's very important that you do in-house risk. A lot of places don't have that, so we can actually control the risk of this, so we can control our losses. And so we do the full service of everything that we have to do to be an in-house and a wholesale processor. Slide 18. Slide 18 is our integrated partners. You'll see on the top of it, you'll see Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, American Express. Those are the card brands. That's the associations. The next line is the Esquire Bank, Wells Fargo, Chase. That's our settlement banks that we use. You have to be attached to a bank to do any type of merchant processing. Visa, MasterCard requires you to have a settlement bank to do business with, and we're set up with several of them. The next line is like you'll see Fiserv, First Data. These are all the processors. We actually work with them to actually get the transaction from one place to the bank, then to the settlement. In the last line, you'll see some different stuff like Microsoft and OSI, Android. Those are different things that we've used to build out our software to make it very compatible with any merchant. Slide 19, you'll see our acquisition strategy. We basically have two types of acquisition strategies. One, we're going to purchase merchants. And what we want to do is actually, in this sense, is you go out and you can buy these merchants in portfolios of say 500 to 1,000 merchants at one time. And you get that and you actually get the processing because then you own the merchant. What we're trying to do is buy portfolios of very basic merchants that just have a terminal, no technology attached to them. We get the merchant and we're going to upsell the omni-commerce system to that portfolio. We feel that we can have a penetration rate of about 25%. And when we do that, it'll give us a different revenue channel. Then we have the processing channel where we're making money on it. Then we also have the revenue that's coming off the monthly software, usually fees associated like $79, $159 a month. It's a static charge that we'll charge for that software. The other acquisition strategy is actually to buy whole ISOs and other businesses that also include sales teams and in-house services and everything, just like what we are. So we're looking to do that too. The next slide, on slide 20, you'll see organic growth. We're looking also to grow organically, just like we are to do acquisitions. Through that, we'll actually work with sales channels, agents, ISOs to actually sell our products. We also plan to build out an in-house sales team to actually sell directly out of our offices. But our best way to do sales and get to growing quickly is to actually work with sales channels through other groups. We call them ISOs, which are independent sales organizations that have their own. We give them our product at a certain rate and they go out and sell it, and it's a faster way to grow. On slide 21, you'll see our financials for financial operations. You can go through that and see for yourself that the company, we're EBITDA positive and we're planning on growing and doing better. We're cash flow positive, EBITDA positive. We're not net income positive yet, but we do plan to be within the next 18 months. I'd like to hand this next slide off to Ronnie and let him explain it.
Slide 23. We have established an operation of close to $10 million a year in revenues, and we recently just got uplisted to NASDAQ with initial research that is anticipated shortly. Also, we did an acquisition of Double Bean in May that we really anticipate great growth of that just because of the businesses that were shut down during the COVID are coming back. With this, we believe we're going to have something nearly million transactions a month going through this process. We raised $6.45 million in the initial offering for acquisition strategy. Starting, the pandemic actually accelerated also our business as a cashless business. We increased the number of bricks and mortars that today emphasize on e-commerce that years before we were like begging them, let's build your website, let's start selling in e-commerce. Now they're calling us and asking us to do that.
Slide 24, we just put this slide together to kind of come up with some industry comps so you can kind of see what's going on in the industry. This is a very hot industry right now. It's a very fast moving, and some of this stuff is from 2019. There's articles where Fiserv purchased First Data, TSYS was purchased by Global. There's been a lot of consolidation in our industry because it's a very hot industry. It's a big deal because, I mean, it's just this industry right now. Even the weird thing about it was the COVID. The COVID hurt a lot of different industries, but in a sense, it hurt ours in a little bit of the beginning. But it's moved everybody to contactless and swipeless and online business faster. Everything was moving that way anyway, but it really tremendously picked up pace due to COVID. So now more people are looking to go contactless, even at a quicker pace.
Now I'm going to move to the management. Myself, I'm the founder, and I have 25 years experience in omni-commerce, software and development. I created for Jack Henry 2,700 small community banks, all the e-commerce components. We digitized Critics' Choice Music and Collector's Choice Video that enterprises that had back then 100 million print copies, everything to be electronically online for ordering. We established the e-commerce platform for AT&T, 180 employees that have practically 4 million products, the choice of purchasing products online on a discount. And I also develop some CRM systems for Omnicom as well.
I'll introduce myself. My name is Patrick Smith. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. I've seen dramatic changes in the industry. I first started off out of college with a company called Concord EFS in Memphis, Tennessee. We grew from about 600 or 700 million in market cap when I got there, and then we finally sold off to First Data for around 8 billion. We've become the number 2 processor in the world. Behind them, our main thing was the Star network. We were the largest pin-based debit network in the world, and that's what we were acquired by First Data. I've worked from, like I said, Concord, which was big. I've worked with startups. One was out on the West Coast, Pay by Touch, which was a biometric group. They were doing biometric payments where you pay with your finger. We raised about $400 million, and it didn't work out, but it was a good run.
We have Rachel Bolds. She's been with us since 2004. She was previously our auditor, and she became a CFO. She's a licensed CPA with 20 years experience working in public markets. And she worked before that with Disney Go and with PricewaterhouseCoopers.
I want to end by saying I think this industry right now is a very hot industry. It's growing very fast, and it's very strategic, and it's got a great growth path to it. And we are a very good entry point into this industry.
Thank you for taking the time to see our presentation. And now I'm open to any questions for anyone. Thank you.
Okay, we're now opening the line for our Q&A session. If you do have a question, you can click the question button right underneath the presentation window, and you can type those in at any time. We'll get to those in the order they're received. With us for the Q&A session today, we have Chairman and CEO Ronnie Yakov and Vice President of Corporate Finance Patrick Smith. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
We'll just jump right into the questions. We have a few that have come in already. Our first question, where do you see OLB in 10 years?
Well, we definitely see ourselves growing as far as number of merchants and transactions and increasing our monthly recurring billings. Our goal is to get to 80 to 70,000 merchants and explore this opportunity also worldwide.
Very good. Thank you. And our next question, when are you going to start operating in Europe, and what are the obstacles to starting to operate in Europe?
Well, it takes time. We see ourselves in early stage, and there's plenty of opportunity in the US that we have to explore. But definitely, in some point, we're going to be in the presence there. We are in discussion with one operator in Europe to provide them our software capabilities. So that would be the first phase.
Very good, thank you. And our next question, have you been seeing the pace of transactions processed by brick and mortar merchants continuing to rebound in the past several weeks since the economic activity continues to pick up?
Yes, we have. Actually, our brick and mortar customers are growing they're getting back to close to where they were. April, they dipped down pretty heavy, and ever since then, we've seen an increase every month, a month-over-month increase volume that keeps picking up. One thing that's happened during that time, too, is some of the brick and mortar business has actually moved more to online business because they realized they had to, which we were able to time in with their software, which is actually a benefit to us.
Very good. Thank you, Patrick. And our next question, can you talk more about how your platform compares to the competition?
Sure. Well, in a way, if we describe it very quickly, we are describing it as we are a blend between Shopify and Square. We have all the tools and capabilities. Our merchants that are boarding on this platform, they're basically size-wise bigger than the Square customers. So we are another level higher than that. We are combining pretty much features that are coming from, if you're on the counter as a retailer, we have 5 features that they have to purchase from 5 different sources. We're combining them as one source. Additionally, we have the payment gateway that is very unique. Shopify doesn't have their own payment gateway. They use third-party payment gateways. And as far as the capabilities, we're doing also personal customer
Yeah, the customer support is handled more in-house than say like a Square or a Shopify or something like that. So we do offer that. But one of the big benefits also to our software is it's not quite as disjointed as say some of the other ones. It's not really as a la carte. It basically comes in one piece. It does the inventory. It does. I'm sure you saw that on the presentation. Does inventory all the way to web management to POS, everything, and it's all in one system. And with our proprietary gateway that's connected, we can basically just hand off one system to a merchant, and it completely helps them manage their business.
Very good. Thank you, Patrick. And our next question, can you talk to us more about your acquisition strategy? What are the criteria, and are you targeting companies that are already profitable?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ronnie. I was going to say, go ahead, Ronnie.
Yeah. The short answer is yes. We're focusing on companies that are EBITDA positive, and they can be complementary to our existing software products that we have. Patrick, now you can take it from here.
Yeah, and one of their acquisition strategy, I think you saw on the presentation, was we're looking to acquire portfolios of merchants. Those aren't really kind of corporate purchase. Those are just buying the actual portfolio. Then we bring it in-house. It's seamless. The merchant never sees it. We started receiving the revenue related to the processing. Then where our goal is to upsell the software and to basically start creating from one stream of revenue where you're getting the processing to creating another stream of revenue where you're starting to get the software off the same merchant. So that's one of our acquisition goals.
Very good, thank you. And our next question, what future partnerships are you looking at to expand your business?
Can you be more specific? I mean, we're planning to increase the number of banks that we're working with. We are increasing also relationships. We're going to announce shortly something like the relationships that we're going to provide every merchant to have Apple Pay and Android Pay. We're going to set up relationships with, we actually going to announce it as well, that we have established 3D Secure into our payment gateway. 3D Secure in the payment gateway, it's very big for the merchants and the protection, so they don't get any chargebacks because the e-commerce is increasing now. And the ISV market is small software companies that need our payment services as well. And those relationships, they are very big in our industry. The reason for that, because those relationships are guaranteed recurring billings.
Good, thank you. And our next question, will you need to raise capital to finance your acquisitions, and if so, how much?
Patrick, you want to answer that?
Well, we're looking to actually do the acquisitions not only through raising capital, but also through debt. We don't want to dilute the stock right now, is where we think it is. But we do plan to use right now currently mainly debt financing, but we actually plan to do another round to take out a lot of the debt in future that we've actually used to do acquisitions.
At this point, our stock, is still very difficult to be a currency. We hope that's going to be in the future, but at the moment, all the acquisitions that we do, we purchase acquisitions that have to be positive EBITDA and cash flow positive, and the reason for that, we can get debt financing as well. And debt financing is cheap today.
Very good, thank you. And our next question, in the wake of COVID, are retailer or restaurant bankruptcies and or store closures becoming an issue for your transaction processing business, or is that being replaced by online transaction business?
We're seeing a lot of, it's kind of interesting because, of course, our merchants, we average, some of the merchants do around 25 to 30,000 a month in volume. We have some that do as low as 2,000 to 3,000. Some of the smaller merchants it's taking longer, of course, for them to come back. But then some of the medium merchants, the 25 to 50,000, they've actually started adding on more services, so they're not just brick and mortar anymore. But the restaurants, yes, they did take a hit, but we're seeing them come back, and even in different ways. Now that we offer our services, we've actually our software now offers contactless service for the food industry, where you can do certain things on your phone. You can call in and just have your food ready when you go in, and it's just completely contactless. And that's one of the things we've added in for cafeterias that are in offices and also other types of restaurants. So they're coming back, but just in a little different morphed method.
And some of our merchants that had to go and close the operation, like large cafeterias, they're reinventing themselves, and we created for them applications that people can order ahead and pick up at the front of the cafeteria.
Good. Thank you, Ronnie. And our next question, who are your three biggest customers, and what percentage of your total revenue does that comprise?
Actually, our portfolio is completely diverse. We do not have any concentration. We have, I guess, our largest customer would be a food service customer located here in Atlanta. Other than that, they do about $1 million to $1.5 million in volume. Other than that, we don't have anybody probably doing over maybe a couple 100,000. One of our largest sections that we have is gyms and fitness. That we got those contracts through an ISV relationship. But our portfolio is extremely diverse. We don't have any concentration from a size standpoint or from an industry standpoint.
And just to be clear, the $1 million in transactions, it's related comparing to $1 billion transactions that we do around on a yearly basis, and it's over 8,500 merchants. So there's really no concentrations in any of the merchants.
Okay, thank you. And our next question, when will you get to net profitability, and what is the revenue number for that?
Well, right now we are cash flow positive. We're EBITDA positive. Net profitability, we're expected to be net profitable probably by toward the end of 2021, that we feel pretty comfortable with that. Right now we're on this pace to finish this year out around right at $10 million in revenue. We think we need to increase it, and we're expected to increase about 30% next year from some of the things that are happening at the end of this quarter. And so we think around a 30% increase in revenue to around 13 million should get us to profitability, and net income profitability.
Very good, thank you. And that looks like that might have been the last question from the audience. You covered a lot of great information here in the presentation and the Q&A, but just maybe in summary, I mean, what's the key takeaway? Why should investors take interest in the OLB Group today?
Well, first of all, we are very new. We just got uplisted less than 2 months ago. Our stock is trading way below the multiples of our competitions, and we take competition, some like Shopify and Square, that trading crazy numbers that I think even. And this way, we have a lot of opportunities, and we have a very bright future. I mean, management is very experienced, so everybody in average is over 20 years of experience in the space. And the COVID actually was in some way awakening for some of our merchants that they moved to e-commerce. And e-commerce is definitely have pretty much impact on this and the cashless and contactless transactions. Patrick, you want to add more to that?
Well, I think we're really set up nicely in this space, which is a hot industry right now, where the payments and tech is very hot. But I think we're set up here in a good space because of the contactless and cashless. The systems that we offer they already provide those services, and we've been pitching to merchants, since the beginning of the year. I think the merchants didn't see the benefit of that until they actually almost had to shut down due to COVID. Now I think that more merchants are going to go contactless, more merchants are going to go cashless, and that's what our software does. And I think the industry is huge, and I think we have a lot of growth, and I think that we are a very good entry point into this tech hot industry.
Very good. Thank you, gentlemen. Ronnie and Patrick, we appreciate you taking time to share the story. Very, very exciting what you have going on. Look forward to having you back to share additional updates as you see some more success here. And for our audience, if there are any additional questions after we wrap up today, please don't hesitate to reach out to us here at RedChip. You can call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And with that, again, gentlemen, thank you for sharing the story, and for our audience, thank you for joining us today.
And thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to us. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate everybody's time. Thank you.